What happens when the very people keeping our NHS alive are planning to leave? Well, that's exactly what's happening, and no one's talking about it loud enough. Hey everyone, I'm Sotida, and welcome back to Sotida Reality, where we break down real stories that matter to real people. Today's topic? Nearly half of foreign NHS nurses are planning to quit Starmer's Britain. Why are they walking away? What does it mean for the future of the NHS and for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take on this. And if you care about truth, impact, and what's really going on behind the headlines, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss an update. Let's get into it because this story affects us all. Almost half of foreign nurses plan to quit Sir Keir Starmer's Britain because of its hostile immigration policy, a report has revealed. More than 55,000 international NHS nurses want to move away, a survey revealed, raising the prospect of a staffing crisis across the health service and social care. Some 42% blamed racism and Britain's unwelcoming attitude towards foreigners for wanting to leave the country amid the Prime Minister's planned crackdown on immigrations. Prof. Nicola Ranger, the Royal College of Nursing, RCN, General Secretary and Chief Executive, said NHS services simply could not run without overseas staff. She condemned Sir Keir's new immigration policies and called on him to waive red tape for nurses moving to Britain from abroad. Nearly a quarter of all nurses working in the NHS are trained overseas, and half of all nurses newly joining the UK nursing register in recent years have come from abroad. The RCN, the nurses' union, criticized the government on Wednesday for creating a hostile environment on steroids, which it warns could trigger a staffing collapse in the NHS. It comes after Sir Keir pledged to tighten the rules on legal migration to the UK to prevent the country becoming an island of strangers. Plans include increasing the level of English required by foreign-born workers and their adult family members who want to move to the UK, allowing work visas only for graduate-level jobs, and doubling the time before migrants can settle permanently in the UK from 5 to 10 years. Damage to key services? But the nursing union said such moves would do great damage to key services, such as the NHS and social care, which rely heavily on foreign-born staff. In the 6 months to September 2024, a third more internationally educated nurses left the UK register than in the same period the previous year. The government has said its new rules would result in net migration falling by 100,000 people a year. The RCN's Unreciprocated Care Report, which surveyed more than 3,000 internationally educated NHS nurses, found 2/3 of those who wanted to leave the country planned to move somewhere other than their home nation. The most popular destinations were English-speaking Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the US, where nurses said they could get better pay and working and living conditions. 7 out of 10 of those who wanted to leave said the main reason was their salary, while 4 out of 10 said it was owing to immigration policy. Other countries make access easier for nursing staff, with Canada and New Zealand offering permanent settlement on arrival. The report also revealed 2/3, 64% of international nurses had experienced discrimination since moving to the UK, and nearly half, 46%, of international nurses had experienced racism at work. It said that the UK was failing to value highly skilled foreign NHS staff and that it has become an unattractive destination for overseas workers. The RCN says its findings could mean up to 55,000 migrant nursing staff could leave the country. But this figure does not include those in care worker roles, suggesting thousands more may leave or cancel plans to join the UK's social care workforce. There are 34,000 nursing vacancies across the UK, and in England alone there are as many as 131,000 vacancies in social care. Pandering and scapegoating. Prof. Ranger said, thousands of migrant nursing staff are ready to leave the UK. This situation is bad enough, but now the government's cruel measures could accelerate this exodus, doing great damage to key services. Rather than pandering and scapegoating, ministers should focus on what patients and vulnerable people need: safely staffed services. She called for NHS nurses to be granted indefinite leave to remain and fast-track routes to settle in the UK, as well as a reduction in immigration fees. A government spokesperson said, "It is a strength of our National Health Service that people come from around the world to care for our sick, and we must recognize the valuable contribution they make. But when we are recruiting from countries on the WHO Red List, it is clear that we need to end our over-reliance on international recruitment and retain more homegrown talent." This government is also bolstering the social care workforce, including through introducing a fair pay agreement for care professionals, providing them with the pay, conditions, and opportunities for career progression that they deserve. The NHS isn't just a system, it's people. And if those people feel unheard, undervalued, and ready to walk away, we've got a crisis far deeper than headlines can capture. If this raised questions or opened your eyes, don't let the conversation stop here. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. And if you believe in spotlighting real stories that matter, make sure you subscribe, give this video a like, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay bold, and I'll see you in the next one.